Good evening. I'm Lynn Howard. I'm a field agronomist with Genesis Ag, and we're honored to have the privilege to be here this afternoon with Mr. David Hight. We're in Macon, North Carolina, in Warren County, real close to being in the state of Virginia. And we're in David's relatively new 300-foot greenhouse. He can grow just about anything you can imagine, any kind of plant that's got a root ball, he can grow in this. And if you look right here, you'll see he's in a float system. He's used 6-inch boards. He's got roughly 5.5 inches of water in that bed right now. David, you help me here. You've got 300-foot bays on each side, or what's the size of your bays?
100-foot.
300-foot bays.
Yeah,
Okay.
foot. Yes, sir.
That, and we base everything we do in these greenhouses off of the depth of the water. For each inch of water, we're saying that that's real close to 1,000 gallons per bed. And David has done a really good job. He likes to experiment, and we're just blessed to have him on board. He's one of them farmers that thinks if a little's good, more's better. And so I use all of his research to say, you know, David got by without hurting anything at this rate. So he has been an invaluable educational tool for me and what I'm trying to do with Genesis Ag. But
So in this house here was sowed on February the 23rd. So we're looking at plants that are roughly 30 days old. This has this has Carolina Choice tobacco pot and soil, and we've fertilized twice in this house. The first time 14 days after planting, and then again at 21 days after planting. So we've used the Genesis Ag program, greenhouse program, since we started treating at day 7, and we've treated every week since.
how long, you mentioned the days that it's been in here. How many days does it take to grow a good transplant ready to go to the field out of this greenhouse?
About 55 days. We could have a transplant ready to go to the field in 55 days out of this house.
Okay. So you're keeping your heat up, keeping them warm when they're little, when they're first sprouting, coming up, germination wise.
Yes,
what would you consider the germination of your seed in this house?
This year we had a germination of roughly 95 to 97%. Very good.
And yeah, that's beyond very good.
Very good.
I mean, in years past, you've been down as low as 45 or 50, and was, you know, really not satisfied with that, and it sort of relayed back to the seed that you were getting.
Yeah, and after we sowed these trays, we had really pretty weather in the latter part of February, but since then we've had a lot of cloudy, rainy days, and it's I think it's really slowed down the growth of these plants. We've had some really cold nights, so but overall they look very good, but it has slowed them down just a tad.
All right, what's the calendar date that you're hoping to go to the field with these plants? To start, you're not going to use all the plants in this house in a day, but what's your target date to start planting?
Right now I feel like we'll probably be at the field April the 23rd to the 25th, somewhere in that.
Okay.
So it'd be roughly 60 days after planting.
After seeding.
Yeah, we would be going to the field, but I think we'll be ready in 55 days. But as far as the calendar is concerned, I think we probably need to wait till the 24th, 25th to go to the field.
All right, I'm hearing this pump run. Tell us about why you have the pump in the bed and how it's utilized.
So we have sub pumps in. We have 3 beds in the house, and we have 3 sub pumps in here. We run sub pumps all the time in the greenhouse. From the time that we start treating with Genesis Ag products, we rub sub pumps the whole year. So for the entire 60 days or 75 days, ever how many days are in the house. The biggest thing is we're keeping our fertilizer and our Genesis Ag products mixed in the float bed system. It also keeps the water from being stagnated, which keeps the water stirred and keeps it fresh. It keeps it cooler because moving water is cooler than just setting water. So we try to, one side of the house we'll do for a couple of days, and then we'll switch it over to the other side and do the other side of the house, and then back and forth the entire season.
All right, your plants look very healthy, good color. If you would lift up a tray and show folks the root system, and remember to look at the size of the plant on the top of the tray, and then look at the roots that David's showing you that are in the water that's feeding the top growth here.
I contribute the healthy root system to the Genesis Ag products. The big I think all of the Genesis Ag products working in conjunction with one another has helped us with our root system and fight off disease, and it's the reason we have a greenhouse that looks this way.
All right. Tell us a little bit about any diseases or insect pressures you've had thus far.
So we have had any insect or disease problems in this house. We've had this house treated with Genesis Ag products since day 7, and we haven't seen any disease or anything that has caused any problem.
Okay, I noticed over here in your jugs that you were using Century.
Yes, sir.
And tell us what you think of Century from Genesis Ag.
Well, Century is a bulldog. It fights off any type of disease that we've had in prior years of using. Before we started using Genesis product, you would have disease or some type of problem in here, but since we've been started using Genesis Ag products, we haven't seen any